Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. Generally, I like to start off with the stock market, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to talk about some lovely economic news. Let's start off with this right off the bat. Inflation continues to rise here in the United States at its fastest pace ever. Oh, I'm so shocked about that. But we heard something else too. Fed President Evans is out here selling the lie. Yet again, people, selling the lie. What's the lie? That the Federal Reserve needs to raise rates now because they want to confront inflation. They're very concerned about it. I've covered this with all of you to the point of nauseum. This is a complete falsehood. Number one, the Fed has no interest in slowing inflation. That's the truth, and you all know that. The Fed wants to continue to inflate, and as a matter of fact, they're going out of their way to do it. Why do you think, for example, the Federal Reserve never tapered? That's the truth. You don't believe me? Go to their website, check out the balance sheet, look at last November, show me where the taper is. Okay. Number two, the Federal Reserve continues to buy mortgage-backed securities like there's literally no tomorrow. What is that doing? It's creating artificial demand. Housing prices are skyrocketing. Duh. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. And then on top of that, the Federal Reserve is buying assets again like there is no tomorrow. If the Federal Reserve were really concerned about doing anything, not only would they be obviously raising rates aggressively, for which they will not. Yes, we're going to get a rate hike. We're probably going to follow what Canada just did, 25 basis points, because that's how concerned they are about inflation. But then the Federal Reserve would have to stop buying assets, stop buying mortgage-backed securities, stop funneling dollars around the world to central banks who are buying assets with dollars that you're not supposed to know about. I mean, the Federal Reserve would have to do so much. But again, when you hear a freak like Fed Evans coming out here trying to push that lie, it's the same narrative that they've been pushing on people for months and months and months, and they are desperately trying to convince people that raising rates is going to make any difference whatsoever. It's not going to. You know that, I know that, but I guess the dumbed down public has no clue. Anyway, so yes, inflation continues to rise at its fastest pace ever. Okay, here's some good economic news. Apparently, only another 215,000 people applied for first-time unemployment benefits last week, and productivity here in the United States is rising. I'm reading this. Anyway, look, it's all a shit show, and you know that. The fact of the matter is, we couldn't be worse off right now, and this is deliberate, globally, what is going on. Everything, every freaking thing. All right, now let's go look over at the market. Right now, stock futures are slightly higher. However, you got a 10-year yield sitting at about 1.85. We're well below the sweet spot, people. The sweet spot is above 2%. You all know that. Okay. And you got the dollar higher. Okay. Is this a safety trade? I'm not going to say it's a full-on safety trade, but, with current events and the fact that, well, at least it's being reported that Ukrainian cities are being bombarded and civilians are dying and everything else. I mean, look, I'm not there. I don't know what's really going on. I do see the stuff people send me. Anyway, so that's the situation. And the market is still somewhat concerned, in my view, that this will go beyond Ukraine. And I had said to all of you, if that happens, we're going to need to address a few things at that time. But for now, look, we sit tight. We don't change a damn thing. We are in the right spot. So as I said, stock futures are higher. 10-year yield 1.85. Dixie, the relative strength of the dollar is higher. Crude oil, WTI, still $112 a barrel. It's just amazing to see these things unfold. We all knew this was going to happen. I mean, from a while back, you and I have understood, and we've spoken about it, how crude would break $100 a barrel. I think it's probably going to 120, 125 in the short run. There's all of this talk right now about shortages, energy shortages. Again, people, look, you know this too. They're setting this up. All the pawns are in place right now. All the pieces are in place for yet another crisis, an energy crisis. There's even talk about food shortages yet again. So what does that mean? People are going to start hoarding again. So just be ready for this. Be ready for anything. Because I sincerely believe, as you all know, they are going to do things to the public that you can't even believe. So expect literally the unexpected to occur. And this could be anything here. With the current crisis, they're going to prolong this for as long as they can, just like they did the last one. And then the same thing is going to have with energy crisis and food crisis and all kinds of other things that they're going to throw at us, because it's all a game. It's all a game to allow central banks to continue to inflate. And that's exactly what they're going to do. But understanding that, people, again, what do I always tell you? First of all, this channel is for winners, all right? And if you understand what's going on, you're a winner, okay? That's number one. Very few people, honestly, really get it. I know you do. So if we understand the grand plan, what are we going to do about it? We're not going to change our strategy, people. Betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank, holding hard assets. Physical silver, my favorite asset of all time. I was even tasting it the other day. You want to see it again? Here you go, watch. Yummy, yummy. You know I'm not well, people. Anyway, you should have some crypto in your portfolio. Cryptocurrencies right now are flat to slightly lower. Bitcoin around 44,000. You got gold and silver catching a bid this morning. Look, this is up to you guys and girls out here. But that ETF that I threw out to all of you, ticker PDBC, this will give you a lot of exposure to commodities. Commodities are surging. And I don't see an end in sight anytime soon. Because people continue to write to me. Even this morning, before this, I'm going through my emails. Greg, is it too late to get in on this? I don't think so. I don't think it's too late to get in on that commodities ETF, PDBC. I don't think it's too late to get in on oil and gas producers. This is on my website, traderschoice.net, the ticker symbols. If you want to, obviously it's not too late to get in on defense contractors. I do not own these things, and that's just because I can't get my head around it. That doesn't mean that they're not going to make money. They've taken off. Since I recommended to people who are so inclined to buy defense contractors, they've gone crazy. Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and I don't see an end here. I think they're going much, much higher in my view. Energy, crude oil. There's so many ways to attack this. It's just, frankly, stupid. And with regard to the banks, people, look, I'm going to tell you this again. In Greg Mannarino's opinion, these are on sale. They're on sale, and they're going to remain on sale, in my opinion, until the 10-year yield climbs. Look, I am holding banks, and I keep going over this because I believe sincerely, first of all, the banks I recommend, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, again, on my website, it's all listed there. I think they're well positioned moving forward. I mean, these are mega banks. You really think they're going to fail? I don't think so. And in an environment where rates are going up, and they're going to, in my opinion, I think we're going to get above 2%, the banks are going to shine. So right now is the time to be buying or adding to positions or holding if you can't add. That's just my take on it. Look, you're always allowed to make your own decisions, and I urge you to do your own research all the time. What I do here for all of you is I give you my best estimate as to what is going on. And I am definitely not right all the time, but I am absolutely right the vast majority of the time. So again, no one can be 100% perfect. I don't care who you are, what you are. It's just an impossibility, but I'm trying my best to make it all work for all of us. Okay, there's no reason why anybody has to lose. And if you can just pick one asset, Greg, you know what? I don't have a lot of money. What should I be looking at? Well, it's right here. It's physical silver in my view. And why are we holding these things? You all know this. I'll tell you again real quick. Cryptocurrencies, I believe their market cap is going to balloon once the debt market implodes, and it will. Okay, at one point. Don't know when. I don't even care when. Same thing is going to happen to physical metals. Commodities are already exploding, but you haven't seen anything yet because I've explained to you when the debt market implodes, cash is going to bleed out of the debt market, which is going to cause rates to spike rapidly. 10-year yield. Again, it's not a dropping 10-year yield we have to fear. It's a rapidly rising one. We're not seeing that. This is definitely not a big crash or any crash whatsoever. Like I know a lot of people still talking about it every month, month after month, and they've been wrong 100% of the time. Imagine that. Okay, so we know the big crash is not here by gauging action in the debt market, 10-year yield more specifically. Very simple, right? Okay, but when we do get the big crash, it's just so easy to understand. Rates are going to spike, cash bleeding out of the debt market. Then rates are going to spike. Pressure on the stock market, then cash is just going to move. It's going to move much more quickly into commodities. We're already seeing this commodity surge. You haven't seen anything yet, not even close as to what's going to happen when the debt market implodes, because these are real things. You're going to see hard assets, gold and silver. I mean, the multiples here are just frankly off the Richter scale. I mean, look at, understand a few things how this is going to play out. I sincerely believe that no matter where the Dow Jones Industrial Average eventually it comes down to, and it's going to correct about probably 75 to 80%. Okay, so you just do the math here. You're going to get the Dow gold ratio at least 1-to-1, probably 2-to-1 in favor of gold. Think of what that means for silver. But think of what that means for cryptocurrencies as well. Again, I believe the market cap is going to balloon. It's going to be so interesting to see this play out once we get there, people. All right, look, I covered a lot of stuff here with you. You understand what's going on better than anybody else. So again, we have the charade being played on people yet again, the lie. The lie is, oh yeah, we're going to raise rates and that's going to be really good. Inflation is going to slow down. Meanwhile, we had what? Yellowstone Powell yesterday admitting that he has no idea when this is going to turn, when it's going to stop, because it isn't. He realizes, well, what is going on, and that is the Fed is going to continue to inflate along with other world central banks. They're going out of their way to do it, like I said. Do you think it's any shock why they're buying mortgage-backed securities like they're going out of style? Like they're buying debt like it's going out of style? They're deliberately creating inflation. And, it's surging at its fastest pace in history. Imagine Greg Mannarino's shock. You can't believe how surprised I am. No. All right, I'm out here. People, I love all of you. Please share the video. Hey, I want to ask you something. As you know, there's a lot of scammers here, and they post all the time. They pretend to be me, or they pretend to be all kinds of stuff here. There's a lot of trolls. You want to take advantage? You want to get rid of these people? Well, now's your chance. If you want to be a moderator here on this blog, post in your comment, Greg, I would like to be a moderator. You need to have a YouTube channel, okay? I will accommodate as many of you as I can. So if you want to moderate this channel and get rid of trolls, you want to get rid of scammers, well, now's your chance. You can get rid of them. All right. So say, Greg, I would like to be a moderator. And like I said, I'll do my best to make that happen. See all of you later. I'm out of here.